So, if you thought 2025 was the preview, well, 2026 is the main event. All those big changes we started to feel on the horizon, they're not just knocking on the door anymore. Nope, they've moved in, and they're rearranging the furniture, basically kicking off a whole new chapter for all of us. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head, right? In 2026, life changes. You change. Everything changes. We're not talking about a little tweak here or a minor update there. This is a total top to bottom transformation. So you've got to ask, what's driving all this? Let's dive into the cosmic weather report. Okay, so to really get a grip on this year, we got to start with the big picture. I'm talking about the major planetary shifts that are setting the whole vibe for 2026. Think of these as the major headlines for the year. They are literally defining the new era we're all walking into. All right, so these are the big names, the main characters of our 2026 story. Remember how they kind of peaked in during 2025? Well, now they're settling in for the long haul. You've got Saturn, Mr. Structure, and Neptune, the planet of dreams, both moving into fiery Aries. Whoa. That combo is basically telling us to rebuild our reality from scratch. Then we have Uranus, the great awakener, just zapping Gemini with all sorts of unpredictable ideas. And of course, Pluto is still doing its deep, transformative work in Aquarius, changing society as we know it. And let's not forget Chiron, the wounded healer, who's starting to point a finger at our collective insecurities around stability and money in Taurus. Each one of these shifts is bringing a totally new theme to the table. So, how does this all play out? Let's break down the first 6 months. The first half of 2026 is, well, it's kind of got a split personality. For some of you, it's going to feel like a huge sigh of relief, like you've just finished a marathon. But for others, it's like you're taking that first deep breath right before you dive into the deep end of the pool. And this split-screen reality is so important to understand. You've got signs like Pisces, for example, who are finally closing the book on a long, tough cycle where Saturn and Neptune were really putting them through it. They're letting go of old identities. But then you flip the coin and you've got Aries. They are literally at the starting line of a brand new multi-year journey. For them, this isn't just about starting a new project, it's about a complete reconstruction of who they are. And that, my friends, takes some serious courage. Now, for a lot of us, especially if you're a Scorpio, Capricorn, or Aquarius, it's not going to feel like a clean ending or a fresh start. It's more like this theme of constant adjustments. You know that feeling? It's like a cosmic friction where nothing is flowing smoothly. You might find yourself constantly having to tweak your schedule, your health routines, your budget, just trying to keep all the plates spinning. Okay, let's get to the real heart of the matter. We are now arriving at the absolute climax of the year. Seriously, if 2026 were a movie, this is the big scene in the middle where the plot takes a hard turn. It's a total watershed moment, and it's going to demand some pretty huge, life-changing decisions from all of us. And that moment is July. Mark it on your calendars. July is the pressure cooker. All the energies we've been talking about, they all peak right here. This creates a really clear before July and after July feel for the whole year. The choices you make this month will ripple out for months, maybe even years. So, what's causing all this heat? It's this epic cosmic face-off. On one side, you have Jupiter in Leo, which is all about your creative fire, your bold expression, what you want to bring into the world. On the other side, you've got Pluto in Aquarius, which is about these massive, deep transformations in society, what the world is demanding. And in July, these two heavyweights stare each other down. This creates a massive tension between our personal dreams and the direction the collective is heading. It basically forces us to get real about what we're building and why. So this cosmic clash really puts a big question mark front and center for every single one of us. It's asking you, what part of your life has finally reached its limit? Is it a breaking point or a breakthrough point? What is that one thing you just can't ignore anymore? Yeah, that decision that's been bubbling just below the surface. It's time. It's demanding an answer right now. And this tension is going to feel extra intense for 4 signs in particular. You guys are really at a crossroads with 2 huge areas of your life pulling in opposite directions. For Taurus and Scorpio, it's that classic push-pull between your career and your home life. For Leo and Aquarius, it's an even deeper question of me versus we, your own identity versus your most important relationships. And listen, we're not talking about small adjustments here. These are the big ones, the foundational decisions that shape your future. So, once we get through the intensity of July, the whole vibe starts to shift. The pressure doesn't just vanish, but it starts to feel different. It transforms into fuel for some serious growth. The second half of the year is all about taking those big decisions you made and actually putting them into action, living them out loud, and expanding in a way that feels true to you. So how do you actually use this new energy? Well, it's a bit different for everyone. Think of it like a path with a few different routes. For signs like Leo and Sagittarius with Jupiter and fiery Leo, it's a total green light for creativity and self-expression. Start that passion project. Step into the spotlight. For Gemini, who's got wildcard Uranus in their corner, growth is all about connecting with new groups, new friends, new ideas. Get out there and network. Then you've got Pisces, Virgo, and Capricorn. For you, the task is to redefine your daily grind, your work, your health, and inject more soul into it. And for Aries, with Saturn now giving you structure, it's time to take those brave, bold first steps into your new reality, but with a solid plan. All right, so as we start to bring this all together, what are the big takeaways? What do you really need to remember to navigate 2026? I think we can boil it all down to three main themes. First up, restructuring. This is huge. With Saturn in the mix, this is not the year for band-aids or quick fixes. The universe is demanding we build things to last. If you're a Capricorn, you're looking at your home and foundations. For Pisces, it's your finances. For Taurus, it's all about self-worth. You're all feeling this deep call to tear down what's not working and rebuild on solid ground. Number 2, authenticity. With all that powerful energy in Aries, the spotlight is on personal truth. This is especially true for Aries and Libra. The universe is basically holding up a mirror and asking, is this really you? Are you living your truth? And this year is going to push you for an honest answer, even if that answer totally shakes up your relationships or who you thought you are. And the third and final theme is adaptability. Look, with Uranus shaking things up in Gemini, being rigid is just not going to work. It's not an option. Your biggest superpower this year is going to be your ability to pivot, to be flexible, to innovate on the fly. For signs like Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius, you're going to feel this the most. Your ability to adjust is what will make the difference between just surviving and actually thriving. At the end of the day, 2026 is a year of big choices and real consequences. The cosmic energy is strong, for sure, but it doesn't write your story for you. It just shows you the map of the terrain. So that leaves us with one last really important question to carry with you. With everything changing, both out there and inside you, what version of yourself are you going to choose to be?